Welcome back to the video. So today what we are going to do is we have an AWS account and the plan is we are going to integrate Control Tower so that what I have noticed is when we are creating a new account using Control Tower, we still have the option of logging with a centralized URL and each individual account is getting a free tier. So in our case, the main account which we are using is going to expire the free tier, which is of 1 year. So the plan is we'll use the same account to create a Control Tower and then from that we'll create account so that we can have the another account with a complete free tier. I have logged in as a root user and we are in a North Virginia region. We'll go step by step. So first I'm into the AWS account as a root user and then we want to do a landing zone. We want to set it up. Okay, so you can see how it works. So first you do a landing zone, then you do a policy management for your account, like what are the services allowed and what it's not allowed, and you also have the dashboard for visibility. Okay, so let's deep dive into it. So first if you go for setting up landing zone, so it's going to be for the existing AWS organization. So first it's going to be for the AWS organization, and if you see, it's not going to have any additional charge and you will just pay for the services which are going to use. So there is no specific charge as such for the Control Tower service itself, and you can choose what is the home region when you log into an account. In case if you have organization having other region like Ireland or some other region, then you can choose it. For now, you just keep as North Virginia, and if you need any additional regions for governance, then you can add some additional part. So if you see, like for now it has North Virginia and Mumbai as default and the other regions also, but for now we will just go with the default setup for simplicity. If you need any additional regions, then you can still go there and select those. Then you have region deny settings. So in case if you want to deny a specific region which people should not access, let's say you want to restrict specific region only and to strictly deny specific things, then you can do enable and more in the description part. So for now, I'll just go with the not enabled and go up next. So now you see it's having a foundational OU and then additional OU. So it's going to create two separate organization units for you. So one is generally for the security and then the another one would be for the log archive. So what are the things is going to happen? So it's going to create two accounts for us as a default. On top of it, we can create additional account for us. Okay, so instead of if you already have an organization unit as part of your account, you can do it. But I believe since you're going to start fresh, it's going to be completely a new one. So you can keep any naming convention for this. For now, I'll just go with the default settings of the sandbox. Okay, so also now you also need to know also going to, so the previous step is for creating the organization unit. Okay, and then within that you are going to create two AWS account itself, like how you are having a account. Same way, it's going to create two accounts. One is for security audit purpose and the another one is for your log archive purpose. Okay, so now here it's asked for the email ID. So let's say if your email ID is something like abc@gmail.com, what you can do is you can add plus before the @gmail.com and then provide the details for it. So now I'm adding the account, adding with a plus. So your actual email ID before admin.com, you would add your plus the purpose so that it's easy for you to recall what it. And then you see it says two configurations are there. One is a self-managed AWS account, and then the another one is with the identity center. So here we'll go with identity center so that all the accounts can be managed with a single URL. So you can log into a single URL and all the accounts will be listed for the user and people can choose which role and which account the users will get login. Okay, so I prefer using identity center. If it is self-managed and it's like individual, you will be there for each account. So my recommendation, if you're doing it for your organization, even for personal purpose, go for identity center. Okay, so the cloud trail configuration, you keep it enabled, and then so these are the optional, so I will leave it as empty and we'll go with next. So now you see there is no region deny, we haven't enabled anything, and the default home region is this, and two OUs we are creating and two accounts is created, and then your main email ID is this, and then there are like two accounts we are creating, and you see the default settings are there over. Okay, so now you just I understand, and then you need to do is set up the landing zone. Okay, so now it's going to take some time for the account creation. In parallel, you would also get a email confirmation for those account creation, and it also would say that it contains free tier eligibility. Okay, but we won't be using those account, one for archive and one for security for our own purpose. What we would do is once this is created, so it says estimation time is 60 minutes, right? So once this is created, we'll go back to the organization unit and then we'll create a new account. Okay, so this is a generic process how you create your landing zone, and each landing zone will consist of two account created, one for security and another for log archive. Okay, so it's what happened, and we choose identity center way of logging. Okay, in the meantime, you can go for, so in the identity center, you can get a unique URL to get login to your account. Okay, so if you go here, we already have the account. So if you see, there is something called AWS SS portal. Okay, so this is something looks gibberish for you, right? So in case if you want to make it temporable, what you can do is you can do edit, and then you can choose your subdomain. So let's say if I want to use something like eVijay, I can give eVijay. But since it's my friend's account, Vijay Raghavan, so I'll keep it as Vijay. Is it fine, Vijay, or do you want to keep it anything in mind?
It's fine.
Okay, so I'll keep Vijay, and should I give one or
Vijay Raghavan, it's fine.
so I'll keep his.
Yeah, let me type.
No, it's fine. So I'll keep Vijay Raghavan /start. Okay, so
One second.
there's a typo. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So now if we click save, then it's good that we have a double verification so that people like fat fingers like me like would make typo for sure, and this can be mitigated. So now going forward, what everyone need to do is he don't even need to log into the AWS console. All he needs to use is this specific URL, and here we can also create users. Okay, so if you go for add user, let's add. We'll keep it as test, and this one for now. I'm not going deep into it. Just no, it's completely for testing purpose. And anyway, by the time of videos release, this account would get destroyed, so you don't need to worry about it. So right, so now we have the account created, and if you go with this one, let's see the control tower, it's still creating, right? And also you see it still says 44 minutes, but in the meantime you can see like 3 accounts has been created, and the organization account is not done yet. So you would see the organization accounts only after the landing zone setup is completed, so which would take hardly minutes as per the setup. Okay, in the meantime, what I can show you is the new way of logging. All right, so now we have the new setup which we can do. So if I go for the dashboard, let's copy the URL, and if I go with the incognito tab, now it would take you to the centralized landing page, okay, or the common identity page. Now you see here, you can see all the accounts linked to this. So now you have 3 accounts, and then for this specific user, what are the groups you provided? So all those details even will be visible here. And so now you can go and look in the specific account and log in. So rather than taking the different route. So now what happens is if I go for the another one, you have add an AWS account, and then you will create a new account. So let's say demo, and let's create an AWS account. Okay, so the new account will be start creating, and then you can, once the account is created, you can move those account under any of the organization at your own ease. Okay, so by now you would have got an email ID, Vijay, and it would say free tier account is enabled kind of email. I will try to attach a screenshot of it post getting it from Vijay, like how it looks. So from now you have a centralized as a control tower, but the AWS account is a separate entity. So you can use this concept like if you're going to any college and presenting any demo, or so that you can just create a new account, demo it, and ditch the account completely. Or in your organization you want to do some trial part, you can use this way. Or even for personal project, you are exceeding a free tier for one of the account which are currently using, which rate is expired, and you can create a new account to your existing control tier without reconfiguring your credit card details and billing details. So this would be a simplistic way of using control tower mapping with identity center. You can have the restrictions though using control tower, like what actions allowed, what regions the resource can be created. You can have the deny policies over that, and this would be the simplistic approach for that. Okay, so once a new account is created, you need to map that specific user to the new account, like who can access it. So either you can map it based on the users, or you can map it based on groups. So currently we are under the demo account which we created, and all you would need to do is you need to go for assign users, and you can go for users and map the test user, and you can give any relevant permission. So for now we'll go with administrators, and it's more like next, and you just submit it. So now the user can view the account in the identity center. So now if you go for the identity center and if you click refresh, so we would see one more account as 4 accounts in the console, and you can able to log in. Okay, so that's how, in case if you're adding a new account post the user creation, then you need to ensure you assign that user a specific role, or you can also have a specific group and say, so that by identity center you can see who can view what accounts. So if you're having a specific account for data engineers, then you can create a separate group as data engineers and map the user, so that whoever is part of data engineer will automatically see only the specific set of accounts, and specific roles would be get mapped to them. So this one way of easy management as a centralized admin. If you have like 50s and hundreds of account and multiple teams are there, you can even create accounts per team as well.